I picked up some new lures, so let's take a look. What's happening, fishing friends? Welcome to another episode. Got a bunch of things here. We're going to get right into it. The very popular Hellgrammite. So this is one I unboxed a while back. It was in the bank fishing bag. Showed this, and a lot of people said they wanted to see more of it, wanted to see me fishing it. They got some new colors out. Yum brought out some new colors of these. This is the Cleveland. It's brown, Cleveland browns. Get it? We got the color Tremor, kind of a dark on top with some gold flake, and then kind of this tannish, I guess, color on the bottom, kind of iridescent-y tan. Tremors, great movie, by the way. Some Pearl White. This might be interesting on some beds this spring. Get some bass upset about that, especially some smallmouth. I would like to try that. Oh, white's not bright enough for you? Well, how about Bubblegum Lemon Swirl? This looks like a trout lure or something. That's something. Copper Creek is the color that came in my bag before, kind of this darker brown with like the copperish orange on it, and then an even darker brown up top, kind of like an orangish brown on bottom. Interesting, good natural color. Speaking of natural, perfect segue into this one, kind of your green pumpkin translucent-y with purple gold flake, and the bottom is a little bit lighter there. Very interesting color there too for clear water. Man, y'all know I'm a fan of purple. Look at that purple glisten in the light. Earthworm, pretty natural looking, watermelon-y, green pumpkin-y, translucent with a bunch of black peppery flake through it. Mud Fleck. I like this color a lot. Kind of dirty stained water, this darker almost black with the brown on the bottom and then the bluish green inside of it. That actually might be really good to mimic craws around here. We have those dark brown craws. Actually, let's take one out. We have craws around here that look like this. The dark brownish kind of on top with the blue belly, blue claws. Maybe a little bit lighter on the bottom, ours are, but this is still a pretty darn good one. And we can rig these up. Let me show you two other colors. GB Haze. I like this one a lot too. Kind of that clear watermelon-y, pumpkin-y-ish with blue flake in it. And then this is the other one that I thought would mimic our craws really well. Northern Lights. It almost reminds me like the deal color in the Z-Man stuff. That kind of darker brown with that light sort of pearly blue iridescence on the bottom. I think that will mimic our craws very well around here also. Now I'm going to rig one up here. Yum did come out with their own Ned Rig heads as well. I showed you this in that bank fishing bag. 1/8 or 1/12 is what they came out with in black or green pumpkin. Choose your poison. It does come equipped with your soft plastic little wire holder there and a wire up top for weedless if you like it. If not, you can just clip that off. And there is a top and bottom to these. You can see the top has like the two little eyes deal there. Rig that up on there, and that's what it looks like as the finished product. I think this will be fun to try this year. You know, we've been talking, myself and Dizzle, about natural things. We were talking about some other lures looking like bugs. You find these all around, you know, bugs that look like this, you know, actual Hellgrammites. There's other larvae and stuff. Just has that very natural looking, you know, buggy, streamy, watery thing, something that they find, even if, you know, it's a spot where you don't see a bunch of Hellgrammites, it's just such a natural looking little deal crawling around like that. Easy meal for a bass, good small compact little profile here. I think this will be fun to throw in some of the small lakes and ponds around here, and maybe even some streams if I can get some of that in and go after some smallmouth with it. All right, let's stick with the soft plastics and go over some of Yum's new colors, and they've got the new little 4-inch Yum dingers here. Some interesting ones here. Russ Vegas. My golly, that's pretty looking. And I'll keep all these linked down below. Over at LureNet, they did give me a 15% off code, so you can go use that, save yourself some money, and get some of these. Some of them that I'm going to get to here, they've only made 300 of each, so another thing, if you want to get them, you better grab them. But 4-inch Yum Dinger is absolutely awesome on a little weighted wacky rig head. If you've never tried it, give it a go. And I like the 4-inch for this better than the 5-inch. I know a lot of folks throw the 4-inch for smallmouth. I just like to throw it on a wacky rig better. You can do what you like, but I would give it a go. Again, that mud fleck color, I really, really like this one. That kind of dirty, brownish black with some blue flake in it. Green Clowns. This is almost like the copper truce in the Z-Man type. This has like orange, purple in it, that chartreusey, watermelon-y bottom with the green pumpkin top. I like that one around here, especially summer, like when we've got the waters that start to get you know, dirty and stuff after the storms leading into early summer. This one seems to be a real good one. I don't know if it's just that contrast or what, but I guess probably mimics summer craw too. But GB Plum, I wonder if that's for green and blue flake plum. I'm not a huge plum lure thrower. It's a cool color, and you'd think as much as I like purple, I don't know, I would just throw Junebug all day, every day over this, but that's a good one. That's one I'm going to have to give a go. I don't throw plum much. Okay, this is definitely one I saw, and I know I will be throwing dirt purple. So it's got like a brownish green pumpkin side with more of a green. So it's probably like a brown, green pumpkin and green. Let me take one out. This is one I really like, so I feel like we got to do it justice here. That brown green pumpkin and then like the green pumpkin. The Dinger's nice too because they do have the slit there in the back. So if you want to use like a little EWG hook, Texas rig that, your hook point fits right down in there, which is really nice. This does have the purple and green flake in it. That's just a very natural one. That one will definitely catch some fish in the ponds around here. Look at that action. Okay, also that Northern Lights and these little 4-inch stick baits. This would probably honestly be a good shad imitation too. You know, that kind of darker brownish gray, I guess you would say. Then that lighter focus, that lighter kind of pearly with that blue flake in it. Gives a good contrast. You know, looks like the belly of fish. The belly of, you know, most bait fish and stuff are often lighter, like a bass, you know, think of those. Often lighter on the bottom, so I think that'll be a good one. GB Haze, it's a little bit more see-through. Let me take one out. A little bit more of a see-through color. You compare that to this mud fleck, you can see how much darker these are right next to each other. My camera's trying to catch up on the light here. But you can see this one a little bit more see-through, kind of that smoky, I guess that's what you would call it, like a smoky tannish gray maybe, with that flake in it. It's a good natural looking one too. You know, in cleaner water with that flash. And I've said it before, but it's really crazy how when you have those summer days in that clean water, how much the flake really does stand out and you can see it, especially if you're fishing shallow. So yeah, good natural color. We got some heartache. Oh man, I've lost some big fish and I can tell you about a heartache. When I talk about big, you know, it had to be almost 2-pounder. But anyway, kind of this reddish, peachish iridescent, kind of an interesting color. Not a color I would normally throw. You know, you think of red in spring, so maybe that is one, but you know, we'll see. Lucky Charm, another good natural looking color. That darker, I don't even know what color you'd call that. More of a darker green up top, lighter watermelon on the bottom with the gold flake up in the top, and then like the black flake down there on the belly. There's a pretty good view of it. Last up, more up my alley, June bug red flake. And I'm not a big red flake in my June bug. I know, you know, there are some June bugs that have that. This is one of them. I like the normal June bug more, but a little bit of red flake I suppose won't hurt. This will definitely be one I'll throw in dirtier water. And I think it's really just an outline thing, you know. If you're throwing in dirty water, this versus black and blue versus straight black, is there a ton of difference? No, but as you can see here, you know, when you kind of lose some of that, it's just a good dark outline silhouette in that water. You know, this should have no trouble catching a couple. Now, if you're a spinnerbait nerd like myself, you're going to like some of these. So they've got some of the red, what do they call this? Arsonist. It's their new red and orange color, and I think these are limited. I don't know if they're going to keep these in the larger size or not, but I know some of these red ones they're only making 300 of. So if you want them, better grab them because this is one I want to try this spring. Red does work in the spring. I threw a red spinnerbait, that was a couple years ago. I think that was one of the first fish of the year that I caught was on a red one. So I like this, that red and orange in the spring. This is one of the few times that I like get picky about a blade is when you're fishing that real muddy water, and especially when you have like a hard mud line. And I mean, like, you'll be looking out in the water and you can see mud all just like this, and you can fish that mud line. Bass will use that mud line over here and hide in it, use it as an ambush point for all those bait fish out here. So you can fish this just like you would a grass line or anything else. And that big, you know, that gold thumping blade I think does it better. Hey, you can see me in the camera there. That large Colorado blade does a real good job thumping, and I like gold in that dirtier water. I think it puts off more of a flash. And then again, that red and orange stands out nice and well. Got a couple of these, 1 3/8 and 1 1/2 ounce. Now you've seen me hinting to and alluding to these. I gave you just a sneak peek in the other video, but Booyah has come out with the brand new Finesse Covert series. Now what's cool about this is, unlike one of the larger coverts, so I've thrown this a lot, y'all have seen me throw this, big fan of the covert spinnerbait, 1/2 ounce on here. Now this one, as you can see, this is a 1/2 ounce as well. Wanted to pop both of these open so I can show you the difference. So this is the regular covert and this is the new little Finesse, smaller size. So if you look at the head size, you're like, oh, what's so finesse about this? Well, the head for one. So on the regular covert spinnerbait, you can see when you flip it over here, it's got the plastic keeper there, which is just a wire, but all the weight is up in the head. All that lead is up here. You can see it's a pretty thick profile. Compared to the head on this one being a 1/2 ounce, these are the exact same size. This is thinner because less of that weight is up front, and they've actually used some of the lead back here to make your keeper. So they can shrink this bait down, make it a little smaller, more compact. And when you look at the two compared, they did a pretty good job of that. And I like this too because flip them over there and you can see a smaller hook as well. So just an overall smaller profile, a little bit more compact look, which I really like for a lot of the lakes and ponds around here, you know, that aren't too big, you know, 100 acres, something like that. There's just something about going to something a little bit more finesse about this that I think you can go behind other people, or, you know, on those days catch more fish, or, you know, target different fish than maybe somebody else throwing, you know, a big spinnerbait, or, you know, a big huge white spinnerbait. You see guys throwing those. Something like that, doing something a little bit different, going to a little smaller, more compact, you know, finessing down a little bit. Also talking, you know, maybe post-frontal conditions, you know, when that bite's a little bit tough, something like that. Going to a little bit smaller, not as big thump, need as much flash, not as much meat, you know, to it. A little bit more finesse spinnerbait. So I'm glad they brought these out. I like this. I will definitely be tying one of these on this spring, and I like the one with the little orange kicker braids. Sometimes blade, same thing. Sometimes that can make all the difference. Okay, so I got those with the little double Colorado. I got this one with like the turtleback blade and then that kicker. They've got the JC Special, that chartreuse with kind of that clearer, I guess, white color, double willow blade. They've got that white chartreuse blue with the little willow blades, straight up white with that little turtleback blade. I love the look of this, just that little small compact, and that's, you know, a little 3/8 ounce, perfect for the ponds around here. Got the white silver chartreuse with that kicker blade. JC Special with the double Colorado. White double Colorado. I don't think I got all of them. There's a number of them out there. Like I said, I'll link that below and you can go check out. So really, you know, whatever combination and such you like, you can pick that up in the smaller, a little bit more finesse, compact profile. Okay, another large hook moving bait. And I know these, I'm pretty sure, are limited to 300. So again, they've got that arsonist color in the swim jig. And this is one I've wanted to try. I've been looking at picking one of these up and I just never did. You can see that kind of spear-shaped mouse, you know, looking head, perfect for coming through grass and weeds and stuff like that, can weave through it. But this orange and red, this arsonist color, again, I believe only 300 of these, which is kind of cool. I think it's neat that they do those limited runs, see how they sell, see if it's a color, you know, people are going to like. This, with the dual soft plastic keeper there, is going to match pretty well with one of these other special limited runs. Again, that arsonist color in their 3.25 inch chunk craw. Haven't even got it rigged up yet, and I can tell this is going to look tasty. Push that up like that. Dual soft plastic keeper, I do like those. And that, my friends, is a little red and orange springtime swim jig. Ooh, man, that is a tasty looking little combo. Used to throw these back in the day. I haven't thrown these lately. They've got kind of the flat deals, you know, more of like a pack-a-craw type deal instead of the, you know, the Rage or some of the other ones that have like the lip on the back outside. These have more of a flap to it, like, you know, this compared to a real tight, fast kick. Just a different look. I know some folks, you know, like one over the other. I kind of go back and forth between both. But good wide profile. I think this will be a fun one to tie on and give a go this spring. What do you think? Now, they also did come out with the body bag color. Again, limited color. I am not, I'll be honest, a huge black and red. Daggum staple in the thumb. I'm not a huge black and red fan. Like, I go to black and blue. Black and red is just not ever a color that I'm like, oh yeah, I really want to have one of those. You can look at my box. I just, spinnerbaits, swim jigs, chatterbaits, I am just not a huge fan of black and red. But it's a neat color. If you like black and red, I think this will definitely be one. Ooh, look at this. I just noticed the head and nose, that black with the red flake in it. That does look pretty sweet. But will I give it a go? Maybe. But I definitely like this one better. Ooh, that's tasty. I'm excited to give the swim jigs a go. Good sharp hook on it. It's got a good large hook too, so it's not a real, you know, small, tiny finesse type swim jig. Very, very sharp hook on it. You know, decent weed guard. I like it for around here in the Midwest. In the Midwest, we get a bunch of lakes that you know, get that grass and stuff growing through the summer. So I think this will be a fun one to throw around some of those. They also have the black neon craw chunk. I better be fair and rig this one up. Okay, you know what? I may have spoke too soon. Getting that rigged up and actually looking at that as a combo together, that does look pretty good. Dirty, you know, muddy water, that black and red. I think that might actually catch them. I speak as if I know like what the fish are gonna like. Oh, that black and red, that actually might do it. I might entice a couple. There's probably some bass in a pet shop that's gonna watch this on TV and think, oh, I would never eat that black and red. All right, last up, another one. I did pick up a couple of packs of these a while back and never had a chance to throw them, but the Yum Spine Craw. I suppose you could rig these up on one of those swim jigs as well. This one is kind of unique because the flappers are not like, you know, it just doesn't end here with the little flanges on it. It has the flanges, you can see them there, but they're in the middle of it, which I think is kind of cool. So you look at the back of this and you're thinking like, you know, Zoom horny toad or like a, you know, a speed cross, something like that. It's got that kind of look to it in just a little bit different profile than what, you know, I guess I'm kind of used to in some of these larger claw, which I think looks neat. And I bet once you throw this in the water and it actually starts catching it, these claws are going to flail out like this. and that little piece there is going to really flap with that on the side. So I think this could be a good punching bait, a good, like brush bait, flipping and pitching around brush. That dark red up top with the black and red flake. Belly is that orange flake, black flake. Just a good thin profile look to it. So there you can kind of see the difference of what it would kind of look like. This, shorter, more compact, wavy action, but this would have a little bit harder kick to it. I don't know. Both of them look good. Comment below and let me know what type of craw trailer do you prefer. If you've used either of these, the little craw chunk or the spine craw, rage craw, whatever your favorite is, comment below and let me know, because it's going to be time to flip and pitch the old craws around some wood soon. I cannot wait to get on some fish. Also, do me a favor and comment below, out of all of these, what was your favorite? Are you looking forward to throwing some of these new little 4-inch stick baits? Maybe the Hellgrammite. That seemed to be the big winner when I did the bag unboxing. There was a lot. Bag unboxing? Seemed to be a lot of folks that were really excited about the Hellgrammite to give it a try. Like I said, I've thrown a Hellgrammite a couple times. Both times I've caught a snapping turtle on it. So my track record with Hellgrammites will have to be fixed. I'm also super excited about these little finesse spinnerbaits, the Covert. I think that might honestly be my favorite out of the bunch. Y'all know I love the spinnerbait, so this will be tied on soon. All right, today's subscribed fishing friend is my guy, Mr. Patrick Boyle. This just popped up. We did the live last night, and he said, great live the next day. I love that people watch the replays of the lives. But he said, Punch always brings the energy on these lives. Really good stuff. Punch is a good cat. Make sure you check out the lives. Go check out Punch Fishing. Check out some of the new stuff over at LureNet. Like I said, I'll leave these all linked below. I'm just excited for spring fishing. The weather needs to stay nice, and I need to go out and fish. So enough for me. I need to edit. Thank you all for watching, and until next time.